Yes. So after having the concepts of this solution of system of equation using the rank method, now we are moving on to the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. The concept of eigenvalues and eigenvectors for a matrix, whichever is given to you. The direct problem will be there from this part, that find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a particular matrix, whichever is given to you. Right. So let us proceed at first that what the eigenvalue is. Then we will see what the eigenvectors are and how we are going to find out the eigenvalues and eigenvectors corresponding to a particular matrix. Right. Okay. So let us move on with the eigenvalues. In the eigenvalues, the first and foremost thing, first we will go through the notes and then I'll go to the whiteboard again to make you understand clearly. Okay. So see, before moving on to the eigenvalues directly, from where it is coming, it is there is a concept called characteristic polynomial. What it is a polynomial. Which type of polynomial it is? If A be a matrix, say it is given over there that A be n cross n matrix, then the characteristic polynomial is given by or defined by determinant. Det means determinant of A minus lambda in. What is in? In is our identity matrix of order n. If I am taking A to be as order n. Okay. So determinant of A minus lambda I, this determinant, whenever we will do the expansion of this determinant, then we will come out with a polynomial containing the powers of lambda, because A is containing some constant quantities and I is also containing some constant quantities. So only lambda will be there. So we will be getting an polynomial in terms of lambda or in powers of lambda, and that polynomial is known as the characteristic polynomial. Okay, fine. So since we have taken an nth order matrix, so the characteristic polynomial which will be coming out, that is of nth power, containing nth powers of lambda. So it will takes the form a0 lambda to the power n, some a1 lambda to the power n minus 1, an minus 1 lambda plus an. Where these what? a1, a0, an, all these are constant quantities according to the matrix whichever is given to you. Right? Acha. Next is that after having the concept of characteristic polynomial, characteristic equation, what it says that if the characteristic polynomial be equated to 0, the equation which is obtained, that is known as the characteristic equation. Okay, that means characteristic equation actually is determinant of A minus lambda n equals to 0. So doing this expansion, we will be getting this equation in powers of lambda, and that will be equated to 0. Now what the eigenvalue is? The roots of this characteristic equation. Whatever the roots of this characteristic equation means, that is the solution of this characteristic equation. That means the values of lambda, whichever will coming out from this characteristic equation after solving this characteristic equation, that is those values of lambda are the eigenvalues corresponding to a particular matrix. All right. Okay. So eigenvalues are what? Eigenvalues are the roots of the characteristic equation. Understood? Have you got that? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, let me go to the whiteboard once so that it will be a little bit more clear to you. If I take a third order instead of nth order, I am taking a matrix A, a third order matrix A, A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. This is the third order matrix. All right. Now what the characteristic equation is, directly I'm going to the characteristic equation. Okay. So first characteristic equation. What it is, what the characteristic equation is, this is determinant of A minus lambda I where I is the matrix, identity matrix of order as the order of the AB. Okay. So here the order of A is 3. So I is the identity matrix of order 3. So now I am obtaining this determinant. What it contains actually? Determinant of A. Actually A minus lambda I can write it as, if I take determinant of A minus lambda times of determinant of I. All right. So how it is going? See, determinant of A means A11, A12, A13, A21, 22, 23, A31, A32, A33. This is determinant of A minus lambda times of I. What it becomes? I means 1, 0, 0. So lambda is multiplied. So lambda 0, 0, 0 lambda 0, 0, 0 lambda. Agreed, all of you? Now what will come out? Let's see. It will be A11 minus lambda, A12, A13, then A21, A22 minus lambda, A23, then A31, A32, A33 minus lambda. All right. So this is the determinant which will be coming out as determinant of A minus lambda I. This determinant equating it to 0 gives us the characteristic equation. This is our characteristic equation. Understood? Right? So we can obtain this equation or this determinant of A minus lambda I equals to 0. So characteristic equation becomes determinant of A minus lambda I equating to 0. Where A is given to you, I is known to you. So we can put on the values over here. We will be getting a third degree equation containing lambda. And the values of lambda, all the values of lambda are our IN values. So IN values are what? IN values are the roots of the characteristic equation. Roots of characteristic equation. All right, fine. Is there any doubt in the theoretical part now? What we are going, what I have said over here? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me go to the, okay, so let me go to the notes once again. Yes. Acha, next is what? IN values, they are coming later on in the middle way. There is a theorem which is known as the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. What it says, see, it's a very easy one. If A be a square matrix of order n, any square matrix of order n, then A satisfies its own characteristic equation. A satisfies its own characteristic equation. That means whatever the characteristic equation will be coming out in terms of lambda, that lambda can be replaced by the matrix itself A. Say for example, they have written the nth order for the nth order matrix, the characteristic equation A0 lambda to the power n, A1 lambda to the power n minus 1 plus dot 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 an equals to 0. So all lambda, since characteristic equation, A satisfies its own characteristic equation. So this is the equation in lambda. A satisfies this equation means lambda will be replaced by A. This is the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay, for any square matrix, lambda can be, the lambda in the characteristic equation can be replaced by the matrix itself. Okay. Acha. The eigenvalues that just now I told you that the roots of the characteristic equations of a square matrix are the eigenvalues. Okay. Now come to the vectors. What it says that, see, let A be a matrix of order n, square matrix rather of order n, with capital X equals to We have column matrix x1, x2, xn, non-null vector. They are considering it to be as a vector. Okay, is a vector such that Ax equals to lambda x. If it satisfies this equation, Ax equals to lambda x, then the vector, this vector x is called an eigenvector of the matrix A. Right? So what the eigenvector, what they are saying, eigenvector will always be corresponds to a eigenvalue. So these are the values of lambda over here. Whatever the values of lambda we are getting, say lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. Three values of lambda we will get since we are getting equation of third order, third degree equation. So equation, cubic equation it will be. So three values of lambda as roots comes out. So these are the eigenvalues. Now what the eigenvector is? There is a particular vector x. Okay. I can take this vector as x1, x2, dot dot dot. Say for this particular one, since we are taking a third order matrix, square matrix, so x1, x2, x3. This is a particular vector. This vector will be known as the eigenvector if it satisfies Ax equals to lambda x, where lambda is what? Lambda is the corresponding eigenvalue. Okay, and you can see that corresponding to each distinct eigenvalue, there will be a distinct eigenvector. So we will be putting lambda over here, we will be getting the values of x. So while finding the eigenvalues, you came to you will see that you can observe that corresponding to each lambda or corresponding to each eigenvalue, there will be a distinct eigenvector. Okay, so this is x is known as this x, whichever is coming over here is known as the eigenvector. Now we will be moving on to some particular problem where we are going to find both eigenvalues and then eigenvector. In each and every problem, first we are going to find out eigenvalues, that is the values of lambda. Then putting the values of lambda over here, we will be getting the values of x, which are our eigenvectors. All right. Okay, I think the basic idea or the theoretical idea behind the eigenvalues and eigenvectors, what are they? Is it clear to all of you? Right? So we can move on to,
Yes.
okay, so we
Yes.
can, yes, so we can move on to a particular problem. Let us do a particular problem on the whiteboard, then it will be clear more specifically clear to you. Let's see a particular problem that they have taken, and then I'll go for this theoretical part again. Okay. Similar matrix and all this. And yes, let us take this problem. Find the eigenvalues and corresponding eigenvectors of the matrix. Matrix is 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. So let us write the matrix at first. Yes, so what the matrix is? A matrix is given to us as 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. All right. Now what I need to do? We need to find out eigenvalues and eigenvectors. All right. First, we will be finding out eigenvalues, and corresponding to each eigenvalue, we will be getting some eigenvectors. So from where we will be getting eigenvalues? Eigenvalues are what? Roots of the characteristic equation. So we need to write the characteristic equation, and then we need to solve that characteristic equation to get the roots, and those are our eigenvalues. So what is our characteristic equation? Characteristic equation for this particular problem, characteristic equation will be determinant of 2 minus lambda 1 1 1 2 minus lambda 1 0 0 1 is equals to 0. Okay.
And 0, 0, 1 minus lambda.
Oh, sorry. Very good. 0 0 into 1 minus lambda is equals to 0. Okay. Now let us expand this. Then see what will be coming, what it will be. Expanding this, what we will get? 2 minus lambda into Bolo.
2
minus
minus lambda.
0.
No, 2 minus lambda into 1 minus lambda minus 0.
1 minus lambda minus 0. So I'm not writing that. Then minus 1 into
1 minus lambda.
1 minus
minus
lambda
lambda minus
minus
0.
0. Then
Minus 0.
plus 1 into
Then plus 1
both are 0.
Yes.
so
Okay.
0.
Is equals to 0. So let's see what is coming. 2 minus lambda whole square into 1 minus lambda minus 1 minus lambda. All right. Is equals to 0.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a cubic equation. We need to solve it for the values of lambda. So let's see, from both the terms 1 minus lambda is common. And we are left with 2 minus lambda whole square minus 1 equals to 0. Still the roots are not found. So we'll need to simplify more. Is 1 minus lambda, then beside 4 plus lambda square minus 4 lambda minus 1 to 0. So what are the values of lambda? First it is 1 minus lambda, then, oh actually it is a square minus b square. We can write it like this also. Okay, fine. So it becomes lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3. So can it be factorized?
Lambda minus 1 lambda.
Minus 3 and 3. Minus 3 and
Minus
minus
lambda
1.
minus 3 lambda.
So 1 minus lambda into what it will be?
Lambda square minus lambda minus 3 lambda plus 3.
Minus lambda plus 3. So it becomes equals to 0. Then implies what it will be. So 1 minus lambda. Okay, I'm going to that side. It is not opening at that side. I'm going over here for this part. Yes. So here it is 1 minus lambda.
Lambda
Then
minus
lambda minus 1
minus
and
1. Lambda minus 3.
lambda minus 3.
Acha. All right, equals to 0. So what are the values coming out? Lambda equals to 1,
Minus
Lambda equal to 1,
1,
and 3.
3. All right. 1 is the double
ma'am.
root.
Yes.
1 is the double root and another root is 3. Okay. So now these are known as the eigenvalues. These are nothing but our eigenvalues. Okay. So we will write them as the eigenvalues. These are our eigenvalues. So the first part is done. That is to find the eigenvalues. Now we are going to find eigenvector corresponding to each eigenvalue. Okay. So let us start with 1. Since 1 is the double root, you can see in your further part that corresponding to 1, you will be getting 2 distinct eigenvalues. All right. Okay. So let us do that at first. Achha, first, if you can tell me that corresponding, okay, fine. Let us start with lambda equals to 1. Achha. For eigenvalues, what the equation we need to satisfy, that is Ax equals to lambda x. All right. Okay. Now what is your A is 1, sorry, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. What is our x? That is x1, x2, x3 is equals to lambda is, I'm taking it as 1. So 1 into x1, x2, x3. So we will be getting 3 equations with 3 unknowns. And solving these 3 equations, we will be getting the values of x1, x2, and x3. So what is your first equation? 2x1 plus x2 plus x3
Plus x
equals to x1. Similarly, second equation is x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 equals to x2. And from third equation, it is identically satisfied that x3 equals to x3. It will not help us in finding the values of x1, x2, x3. Okay. So see, with these two equations, actually these two equations are same. What are they? x1 plus
x1 plus x2
x2,
plus x3 equal to 0.
yes, plus x3 equals to 0. So we can write x1 in terms of x2 and x3, that is minus x2 minus x3. Agreed? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now our target is to get the value of x1, x2, x3. So see, I'm writing this as, since we cannot find the unique values of x1, x2, x3, since we have two equations. Rather, for three unknowns, we have only one equation. Okay. So that's why I have written x1 in terms of x2 and x3. So I'm replacing x1 as minus x2 minus x3, then x2, then x3. All right. Now see, from here, if you take x2 common, I'm splitting this into two parts now. Okay, I'm going to split it out into two parts. By taking x2 common, I can write it as minus 1, 1, 0. Similarly, plus taking x3 common, I can write it as minus 1, 0, 1. Are you all agreed with that? Is it okay for
Yes,
all
ma'am.
how I have written? Because if you take the sum, you will get this one only. So this is that I have split it into two parts. Since why I have done this? Why I have done this? To get these specific values, to get these vectors. And what else I know that since one is a double root corresponding to one, I must get two distinct eigenvectors. Okay. So this is one of your eigenvector and this is the another eigenvector. So these are the two eigenvectors, this one and this one corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equals to 1. Okay. Now we can also find, next we will find the eigenvector corresponding to lambda equals to 3. So where will be the difference? Just here, 1 will be replaced by 3. Okay. So let us see what happens if I replace 1 by 3. So it will be 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. x1, x2, x3 equals to 3 times of x1, x2, x3. So what the equations will come out? 2x1 plus x2 plus x3 equals to 3x1. Then x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 equals to 3x2. Then x3 equals to 3x3. So what are the values? From here we will be getting some specific values. That is x3 becomes equals to 0, right? If I take it on this side, it becomes minus 2x3 equals to 0. So this implies x3 equals to 0. What else? If I put x3 over here, so what you will be getting? x3 0. So in from the above two equations, 2x1 minus 3x1. So it is minus x1 plus x2 equals to 0 and x1 minus x2, sorry, x1 minus, yes, minus x2 equals to 0. That means actually you will be getting x1 equals to x2. Okay. From the above two equations. So x1 equals to x2, anything you can take, let it be some k. So now what is your eigenvector? Eigenvector is x1, x2, x3. So it will be equals to x1 means k, x2 means k, x3 is 0. So if I take k as common, so eigenvector will be 1, 1, 0. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equals to 3. Is it clear?